Welcome back, legends, to another episode of the League of Inches Tuesday night live show across both our Facebook and YouTube pages. Again, if you're not following them, make sure you do hit that follow button, the like button, all that sort of jazz. Smash the comments in, share it around, things like that. Just a quick one as well. We're still running that massive prize for the Broncos v Titans game in a matter of weeks now. We'll be drawn in about 2 weeks from now. 4 tickets, so you and a few mates can go. Great seating as well. The silver tickets, exclusive bar access as well. Simply tonight, there's a bonus 5 entry giveaway. If you do want a chance to go into that draw, all you have to do in here is just say that you've shared the video. Just literally write shared in the comments, and away we go. You'll be in the draw to win 5. If only one of you says the share, then obviously you win it. So it could be that easy to win 5 bonus entries to a great prize. Thank you to Jack Connolly's Real Estate there for donating that prize. Very much appreciated. There is so much to talk about tonight. Shout out to the hats, which I forgot to put mine on. They are still available to purchase. So if you are interested in one of those light blue or the navy blue hats, please message the page. Same with any of the League of Inches merch to go ahead and get that done. Boys, there is so much to discuss tonight. Obviously, everyone is into the origin side of things. Very keen to actually rip and tear into it all. We obviously did our show last night, myself, Jesse, and Trav. So we've got Jake giving his thoughts on a few of those, which will open up some discussion points, which we're very keen to get into, and plenty of other things to talk about. Ezra Mann being back, and plenty of others. But let's rip and tear. Jake, I'll throw straight to you. What caught your eye this week? This could be a classic.
Yeah, no, I'm doing well, Joel. Thanks, mate. Yeah, so you've asked me to go a little bit wild and a little bit out there. And so where I've kind of gone with this is I looked up weird news and I've come up with Wally, the emotional support alligator, is missing, unfortunately. So
where from?
So there's an owner in the US, and this support alligator is like actually registered in the US as a support animal. Wally, the support alligator, is missing. He got stolen from his outdoor enclosure while his owner was on vacation. So very sad time. I hope that he finds him. But you wanted weird, you wanted wacky, you wanted wild. So there's one for you there. It was in Georgia.
Stolen.
Yeah, he got stolen. So here you go. A Pennsylvania man who credits an alligator named Wally for helping relieve his depression for nearly a decade says he is searching for the reptile after went missing during a vacation to the coast of Georgia. So sad times there, unfortunately.
I mean, it's not Katy Perry on the moon levels, but it's quite good. You actually talked that one down a lot this afternoon.
That can't happen every week.
That's a good one. So I'll give you that one, Trav. I don't know if you can back that one up. You might go better, actually. Let's see.
Nah, mine's not better than that.
Oh, actually, hang on first. Have you got Wally? Is it you that's stolen Wally? Like, we're looking for Wally.
As in, where's Wally? The one that wears red and white stripes?
he's got the stripes around him as well. So let's look for an alligator with stripes.
It's a big page. It's a hard page. There's a lot going on the page to find him, so I can't find him yet.
He's been looking for years.
What caught your eye this week?
I'm going off topic like you had, Jake, but I've got to just put it out there, eh? Did any if you're a house owner, put your hand up. I got wonderful news today. The RBA dropped their interest rates.
Oh,
so get around it. Get around it.
Saving some money.
Yeah, I'm saving some money. Get around it. Hey, and I've got the perfect person to save everyone some money too, Joel.
Who's that?
Con, and he's from Freedom Finance Group. Oh, look, there's a little sponsor down the bottom. Right pay.
Yeah, transition, I see.
No word of a lie.
I didn't do that on purpose, but I am seriously. What caught my eye is, as a very happy house owner, the 0.25% interest rate drop is huge. And I'm a very, very happy person. I've got all sorts of jokes and things I have written down that I want to talk about, but I don't know if I've got time to sit there and talk about it. But yeah, that caught my eye.
No, and in all seriousness, guys, if you are a homeowner watching this, and we're not trying to lead you down a dark alley or anything like that. We are legit with this. Con is a fantastic guy. He genuinely wants to help our community. So let's make sure we do get around him. He's happy to go in, help us even more. He helped us put on our first official live event, which we're very thankful for. It's Freedom Finance Group. Go ahead, reach out to him via social media. We can send you his number as well if you want to send us and go through that way. We're happy to do that. He's happy to do it that way. He'll be on probably in the next week or so as well on the podcast. So you get to make it a bit more personalized with him as well. But we're not trying to sell you anything. He literally wants to help you save money. So for free for the Jazz, it's fantastic.
I've got I will say one thing, right? So before I'd even really had time to Google what had happened, I had Con in my text messages sending me a message telling me that the interest rates have gone down. He's already onto it. He's already chasing people up and telling everyone that interest rates have dropped. So that's the sort of quick play of the ball that you want on your team to hook you up with some nice interest rates.
It's all over it.
Yeah. Oh man, you should see it. Me and my wife, I've been sitting here all night trying to write up some nice ones. I've got heaps. I've got some funny ones for Newcastle. Oh man, I'm all over it. But I'll leave it there.
Shout out as well, Jake, as he announced it. I would like to get Trav's thoughts actually on this one. Sunday on the podcast, happily announced it to the thousands of listeners that listen to our Sunday night show that it was his birthday tomorrow, which was yesterday. Now, but I thought it was a very, very arrogant play, Trav, to be honest.
I mean, I wouldn't say arrogant. I reckon it's a little bit sad. I mean, we know that he lives out in the middle of. We know he lives out in the middle of nowhere, so he's just looking for a bit of love. He can only get one from his missus. He can't get it from anywhere else, so he's just crying out to our locals.
Yeah, he wants all those messages to slide in and happy birthday, Jake. Hope you have a great day, all that sort of jazz. And by the looks of it, things kept popping up on my feed yesterday, and I think he received it. So. Well done, everyone, for first of all listening to our podcast, knowing what was happening, and then reaching out to Jake as well. For mine, the boys wouldn't let me have this as a topic, so I got to use it as what caught my eye this weekend was Jared Sutton and his performance. Honestly, the Origin women's state of Origin performance was disgraceful. He was in the bunker, made a couple of calls, which I don't know how he came up with even after multiple replays. That Queensland try was just that embarrassing. It wasn't funny to actually even award that after the replays you got to look at. How he came up with that and the way he said what he said to come up with that is just how he's an official anymore. I don't know. Then fast forward, he gets the Broncos Dragons gig and stood there for a blatant forward pass, didn't call it. A number of other calls throughout that I just could not wrap my head around. And I just don't get how you can sort of get promoted from being a poor official up into the bunker for a State of Origin game. It doesn't sit well with me at all. And I know there's a lot out there, and I know the boys are they're saying, well, it's just the officials in general. But I just feel like he's fall from grace from he was a few years ago the top referee in the game. He's now, I wouldn't even have him in the top 5 or 6, and that's saying something because the officials have been horrible. So, I'm just not a big fan of him at the moment. I just think it's a poor message the NRL sending by having him continually in the bunker when he's doing a poor job on the field himself. But there you go. The boys don't want to talk about him, so let's just move on.
You can, and it'll keep Leon Borg, Mr. Jake's dad, really happy that you've brought this up because he wanted someone to talk about it. But yeah, I can't sing. I find it really hard to single out one ref or one official, and say that they've been bad when literally all of them have been bad. Like, I haven't walked out of it or left a game that I've watched and gone, geez, that was a really good refereeing performance. I've not said that once for a while now. So yeah. Anyways, that's where I'm at.
Yep, and that is fine. Let's get into it. Plenty to discuss, and we promised to go a bit short. I know we've been sneakily going up and up with these shows. We are trying to make a very big conscious effort tonight to make sure we get into around the hour mark and have it done. So there's plenty to talk about, which I think is a good thing because it means we're just going to be going gangbusters. So we need you in the comments, ripping and tearing. There's a few more online now. So if you are live up in the Brisbane area, you don't even have to be a fan of these two teams. That Broncos v Titans giveaway that we're currently running 4 tickets in the silver section. If you want to be in the draw to get that extra 5 entries tonight, only one person I'll give it away to. Just share this video onto your page and leave a comment saying shared, and you'll go in the draw to winning that. And if only one person does it, you'll obviously win that 5 bonus votes. Our power up segment this week, thanks to vitamin supplements. Again, use code word inches for 10% off your purchases. And when you get there, you'll also get 10% back to the page as well. So you'll help yourself, help us, help Vitamin supplements as well, which again, guys, as we're growing, as some sponsors starting to jump on board, if they can see that our community is giving back, they're happy to give more and more back to us, which is only a good thing moving forward. So please help get behind our sponsors. It does mean a lot to us and them as well. Where do we sit? We spoke about this last night, and I said let's stop the conversation because it's more of a Tuesday night live topic. I want to hear people get in the comments and getting involved as well. Where do we sit when it comes to the media ban at the moment by Latrell Mitchell and Spencer Leniu? It sort of got a little bit heated quickly last night because there was someone who I see in the comments already did not agree with perhaps what me and Trav were trying to say with this. Jake wasn't on last night doing the preview, so we're getting his thoughts fresh. I'm going to throw to him first. What do you think, Jake? Do you think it's right that at the Origin a theme and coming into Origin camp that 2 players can basically say, no, we're not promoting the game, we're not doing media, we are banning it, see you Wednesday night?
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about it until now. Like I saw that they were doing it and I hadn't really given it much thought of is it right or wrong kind of thing. But now that I'm kind of thinking about it, I go, well, if they can do it, anyone could. So technically both teams could just go, no, I'm doing a media ban, and then you're getting absolutely nothing from them. So I think it either needs to be all or nothing. And I think the answer should be nothing. I think you shouldn't I believe players have media responsibilities, and especially if they're going to play for the Blues should just if they want to play there, they should just have to sign, media, all media responsibilities are here, and they should have to do it, to be honest with you. I get the idea of doing it for their performance and for their mental health and for all of this. I understand reasoning behind doing a media ban. However, I don't believe that unless there's a real heavy circumstance as to why, I don't think that they should be able to do it.
I agree. I just think for me, it sits, it doesn't sit well with me. I don't think you should be able to. I think this is the pinnacle of the game. That's what I said last night. The players have a responsibility. They're getting extra money for this. They've been very active and boisterous in the RLPA stuff, making sure they get more money, things like that. Guess where the money comes from? Unfortunately, the media, the telecast, the broadcast deal. That's the big money. And if they don't want to help promote the game, I said it last night, Latrell is one of the biggest names in the game. Everyone stops and listens whenever he's interviewed, whether it's for good or bad reasons. That's the power he has for all the communities in Australia as well, which is so powerful to have. I just find it a bit rich. It does not sit well with me. This is the pinnacle of our game, and they are sitting there saying, "Nah, we're all good." My thing to come back on that for, and hopefully Jess is still there and he can be boisterous as well, is the fact that can the game now turn around to them and say, you know what, that extra 30K you get because you're not helping us promote this, would it sit well if they gave him 10K less, 15K less because they've done half the work? I know people will say, oh, well, on the fields where they do their job or on the training field, but at Origin level now and the way the game is these days, being in the media plays such a strong part in this. And live, having an interview, things like that, like it was yesterday where everyone was running around, stuff like that. We haven't seen one thing get twisted. We haven't seen anything like that. I think people just want to genuinely hear these guys talk. It just does not sit right with me, Trav. Sorry, you're muted again. You've done yourself a mission.
Sorry, I got a bit of a cough, so I'm sort of muting so that people don't listen. But you sort of repeated what I said yesterday. And the question was, how do these guys get their money? And they get the money through the media, right? They get the money through all those sponsorship deals and things like that obviously pay that the NRL gives to the clubs to pay these guys. They get their money through the sponsors. They get money through the fans. They have a responsibility. It's as simple as that, and it's in their contract. If they can't manage the media, then they should have their contracts torn up, in my opinion. It's as simple as that. The only reason why yes, we know that they're the product and we watch these guys because of that product, but the only reason why it's a product is because we, as the fans, pay them. Right. So we pay for that, and we pay to the TV. We buy our TVs and we buy our subscriptions and we do all these things. And that's how they become a product, is because we watch them. We go to these games to watch them. We watch them on TV, all that sort of stuff. So simply my opinion is there's no excuses, simply no excuse. This is the as you said, the pinnacle of the competition. Make everyone available. But like, pick and choose some of the media people that are there. Like, if you're that worried about what they might ask or what they're going to say, pick and choose who goes. We all know what some of those, and then tell the media, this is what you're not allowed to ask. Ask anything about the game, ask anything about your background or whatever, but don't ask these specific questions. And if they do, get rid of the media, get rid of them. Simple as that. Like, that's their one warning. Lock them out.
Yeah. That's what Latrell, like, apparently, and Jesse refreshed our memories last night. Apparently, that's got to do with Triple M. I think there's a Ben Dobbin interview that he had last year where he did drop a fair few F-bombs, Latrell, in that interview, a couple of swear words, and there was a bit of negativity around that, and it wasn't a great look for the game, which I think is fair enough. Like, it wasn't a great look straight after the game, and dropping as many as he did. Like, I think 1 or 2 you can let slip, but I think he dropped like 5 in the end, and it just wasn't a great look. But if he doesn't sit well with that, go there yesterday and just say, you know what, Triple M, I don't want to talk to you after what happened. I think everyone would go, you know what, I respect it. Like, at least you're here talking to everyone else. And then obviously Spencer seems to have an issue. Now I've been thinking about it today with obviously Thurston and what's happened there post all the Ezra Mann fallout, stuff like that. And that's, again, fair enough. Have your personal, like, we can all sit here and say there's people we don't like, we don't want to talk to, stuff like that. Everyone has them. But he should then go there yesterday and say, I'm not going to talk to Channel 9. I'll talk to Fox. I'll talk to those. Because the thing is, and I know a lot of people in the media are in the comments are blaming the journos or the media. What they're actually doing yesterday is talking to us, the fans. That's who they're actually talking to, because the media have a job, the journalists have a job, but they are essentially the players talking to their state. They're getting us pumped up. They're getting us motivated. They're talking to us how things are going, because we're the ones that are interested in that. If we weren't interested, we wouldn't be clicking, we wouldn't be watching videos. And like, I've watched the press conferences and stuff. I've done all that already. I'm interested in it. And I just don't like that Latrell and Spencer from my state has decided to not. No one in Queensland have done this. And I don't believe I can't remember the last time anyone in Queensland did this. So it's just, for mine, a little problem that, again, has raised their heads. And just for me, perhaps raises questions about Laurie as well and his coaching already. And the fact that perhaps players can walk all over him a little bit, which I just don't like. So,
I just want to quickly touch on something that Dad said in the comments, where he said, like, Latrell can't do anything right if he doesn't want to. He shouldn't have to. He might have personal reasons. I'm not just saying Latrell. I'm talking about Spencer as well. Like, it's not like we're just talking about the one guy. And Trav and I had an argument on here 3 weeks ago now, or 4 weeks ago now, where I was defending Latrell. Like, it's not about that at all. It's just a whole separate thing. It's about the fact that should players have the right to completely have a media ban, and we're saying, like, I agree with your points, is they should be able to pick and choose who they want to talk to, and whether if they have people they don't want to talk to, or certain channels or whatever they want to talk to, they don't want to talk to, they can just go, like, no, you're not part of this. That's fine, because the news is still coming out, and the fans still get to hear from their favorite players. Spencer or Latrell might be some young kid somewhere, or some parent or whatever, their favorite player that they wanted to hear because they're so excited he made the Blues and whatever, and they're not going to be able to hear them before the game and get it sucked up. So it's definitely interesting.
I just think quickly with Mark's comment as well. I think with what happened last week with Michael Chemis as well on 100%, but he's a little bit different. That they literally demanded Chemis wasn't on the panel doing his own job at his own company. So that's a bit different. Like, I'm saying, yes, like for yesterday, for example, Latrell or Spencer literally just walked past whoever it is in a 9 or a Triple M jumper or a shirt at the time. So I think that would be that bad of a issue, because they're still getting out and talking to certain people. Trav, you got anything else to say on that, or can we move on to the next part of the Origin chat? Yeah,
I've got it.
All righty. So I did mention we've sort of had our chat. We'll talk again on air now, generate some talking points, but let's talk a little bit of Origin as well. Jakey boy, you went on last night. Obviously, you're celebrating something that I think was your birthday, if I remember correctly. I'm not too sure.
Something like that. I don't remember.
Might not have heard it for about 20,000 times, but happy birthday
God.
again.
It wasn't that
Every
bad.
10 minutes, I'm going to tell you happy birthday.
This
Talk
is
to us.
rugby.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about these Origin teams? You want to rip into New South Wales first? Your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll jump into New South Wales first. I think the 1 to 7 is exactly who I would have picked, and I'm really, really happy with those choices. There isn't much more. Like we've talked about it a bunch of times, and everyone, I'm sure you guys did as well. I didn't catch the pod yesterday, but the real question mark is Moses and Cleary, but I think that's going to work out really, really well. I don't want to get too into what you guys would have talked about is the Terrell May thing. I think he should have been picked, and I love Mitch Barnett starting. That's totally fine by me. Payne Haas starting, awesome. Reece Robson's the hooker I would have gone with. Martin and Crichton, I'm happy with, and Yo, I'm happy with. The bench, I love Connor Watson there. Spencer Lenny is who I would have picked. Then there's year 2. So I think, like I said to you guys a while ago, I think that Hudson Young, while deserving of his spot, if you aren't going to pick him in his starting spot, I don't think he provides much value off the bench. I don't think he provides as much off the bench, and I would have preferred. I know we've given Ola Kawatu a chance, but I'd still even rather him over Hudson for that coming off that bench spot kind of thing. Obviously, I'd prefer Terrell May, but then there's other options. I can't really think of any of them immediately off the top of my head right now, which is embarrassing for me. But I feel like I don't know. I don't rate Hudson Young directly off the bench. For mine, I think he either starts or he doesn't. I'd actually rather, you know what I'd rather do? I'd rather have him start and have Gus Crichton off the bench because I think he'd do a better job as being able to play sort of both positions. And then Max King, I actually think he's going to do a very good job. But obviously we've talked about this before. Terrell May was deserving of that spot, and I think it's rubbish that he didn't get it there. So that's my thoughts on that. I don't really have much more to say on those ones.
I think it's only fair. There's obviously a huge talking point so far. So we do bring up the May stuff live on air. We were pretty heated with our comments last night. Very scathing. Still feel this very much the same, if not more, even more so. May did come out today, has said a few things. I will get that up because there was a very good quote that he did say, I think on a Lawnmower Guy's page, I think it was, and he actually did an interview with him, which was a little bit strange, but again, it was great that he actually came out and actually had his say on things. So I'm with you. I just think it's absolutely shocking that he has basically not been picked at all in this team. Like, let's just be fair dinkum about this as well. He's literally the second best prop forward in the game at the moment. This is what he said today. And there was a lot to do with the comments he said on that video, the fallout from it, the way some people have perceived it. So he said this, he's gone, well, all those reports came, when all those reports came out, there were so many comments saying, I can't believe you didn't make it. That's when I saw the report and I got a bit frustrated. I never should have said that. That's on me. Obviously, I was joking, but no one really knows me personally, so I shouldn't assume people are going to know me. I wish I could take that back, but I can't. At the end of the day, that's on me, no one else. Now I've got to live it. I'm just going to keep grinding to earn their trust. And he means the New South Wales Blues. So he's admitted to probably not the best words to use, but I feel like at the same time, we all sort of seen that as well. And I think it's a massive cop-out at the moment to say that's the reason the Blues didn't pick him. The Blues haven't picked him because they've got no effing idea, to be perfectly honest with you. And Laurie and his staff have tried to find ways. And I said this last time, and I'll say it again. I hate the way the media and the Blues have pushed this narrative in the last week to try and get Terrell May offside with the general public and make it validated why they didn't pick him. I think that's disgusting because there's no stats, in my opinion, that show, and just to the naked eye, that says Terrell May would not be good in this arena. He's played in the last 18 months alone. He has done a great job, whether it's on the bench or starting for the Roosters or for the Tigers. He's shown he can do both at a very, very good up there tier as well. Laurie's used the example of Max King chasing back from a Titans runaway almost try. I said this last night as well. I've actually gone back and watched the play he was talking about. Max King, fair enough to him, he did get back. He was one of the last back as well. Laurie made it sound like he was first there. And he actually didn't get back on side either. It should have been a penalty. So he did make a good effort to get back there, but it wasn't nowhere near what Laurie was trying to validate his own selections for. I just think it's a cop-out. Terrell May should be there, and I just don't like this whole narrative that we've been sold, and I don't buy it at all. Trav?
Yeah, I mean, I think you've summed it up really well. I think Jake touched on it really well. I think the podcast last night, we sort of touched on it. Well, did more than touch on it. Really in depth went into that. So listen to that as well. And I'll repeat what I said from yesterday is that, yeah, I had a laugh at that one too. I'd be much less annoyed, and I'm not a New South Wales fan, and I'm annoyed because I am just an NRL fan as well. I have my allegiances, but I don't I am there. But I'd be less annoyed at this situation if Daly just came out and literally just said exactly what we all know is the reason why he didn't pick it. Instead of tiptoeing around with this rubbish and this garbage, just say it. Like, you didn't pick him because of this. And give Terrell May the right of reply and allow that option for him to do that. Instead of saying your defense efficiency is no good because the stats have been pushed out there. All these people that keep sitting there talking as to why Max King got picked over Terrell May in the stats, it's just annoying. It's a foolish argument to say, oh no, by the averages because, Terrell May's numbers are great because he plays 80 minutes or he plays many minutes. Well, isn't that just a positive in itself? Like, is that not amazing in itself? So, and he's also playing for the West Tigers. He's not playing for the Bulldogs, who are on top of the ladder and won one game. He's not playing for the Broncos, who, although have lost 5 out of 6 now, are still thereabouts. He's playing for the Tigers, and they've just come off the back of getting flogged by 64 points and then gone and did what he did on the weekend as well. It's just mind-boggling to see what's happened. And this is the type of stuff that, unfortunately, derails teams sometimes. This is the type of thing that can derail something. And I'm just a bit concerned about that. And I think maybe Daly's just out of his depth here, 2025 now.
Yep. I'm slightly worried having Daly as coach, to be honest.
Well, the thing is with that is I feel like he's made the right call. Like, starting 13, I'm happy, right? Starting 13, I have other than Barnett, I'd have swapped down and then Terrell May in. Obviously, other than that though, they have nothing I'd swap in there. So starting 13, I'm pretty much happy. And honestly, even if we had Terrell May, I would have been happy with Barnett to start him off the bench. It wouldn't have bothered me, right? That would have honestly been fine as well. So then really, I'm also happy with, where is he? I'm also happy with Connor Watson and Spencer Leniu. So really, there's only really two sort of picks that I'm not sitting there going 100% about. So I don't think that it can be used as the excuse if we lose. But I also think it will be a talking point if we do.
Yeah, I definitely agree. In the comments as well, can you just quickly let us know, are you all happy with the non-Turbo selection? I know that's any other year, I feel like that'd be a huge talking point just because of who Turbo is as a player. I think the fact that there's been almost no talk about it at all suggests that everyone's of the same sort of thoughts that he just simply isn't up to it at the moment, which is unfortunate because we know how much he can single-handedly change any game he plays. He's done it at Origin level, club level. For Australia, he's been the best player on a number of occasions. So I feel like we're all pretty happy with that one. I think we're all happy with the back line. And yeah, what about your thoughts on Queensland, Jake? Anything to add in there, or you just, it's all right, series whitewash?
Oh, God, I don't know if I'd go that far, but I would have us going in as the favourites based on the team lists. Biggest talking points, so obviously Ponga, his form and stuff like that. Like I've said before, I think he'll rise to the occasion like he does. I think they'll put Xavier Coates against Lomax. I think they'll put them together. I think that's going to be an incredible aerial battle. Toya, obviously a 10-game in that's been heaps talked about, and I think that he physically is a good call for trying to go up against Latrell, but also I'm sure they wouldn't have gone with him if they had almost any other option, but they just are so run down in the outside backs that they just kind of had to do what they had to do. I'm not going to go through everyone. Hammer's obviously there. Holmes will be good, but him against Toa is going to be a good fight. Munster and Cherry Evans, we knew was going to happen. Bottlewaker starting. I don't know. I think I would have had Collins, to be honest with you. Harry Grant is back off injury, and he didn't wow me against the Sharks. I think he tried to do too much, but also he's there. He's in Queensland colours. He does a whole different. He plays completely differently for them. Tino's a freak. Ruben Cotter coming back from injury to start is interesting to me. Nanai, Carrigan's fine. My biggest talking point here, getting to it now, is Tom Dearden. Everyone was talking about it. So many people were talking about it, like he has to be in that side. He has to be in there somewhere. He has to be the 14. But you know who else was getting talked about that for the Blues? Pappenhausen. And I think the right call was made that he wasn't picked as a 14 because the same thing, I don't see the utility value. I've copped it again, man. I don't see the utility value in Dearden the same way I don't see it in Pappenhausen. I think that he is a half, and I think if you were absolutely desperate, you could slot him out on an edge because you needed to, but I don't think he should be getting put there. I actually would have picked Kurt Mann over him. I'll say that now. I would have picked Kurt Mann over Dearden, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me there, but I think utility value-wise, it's a better call. That's just my shout. It's fine for people to disagree with me. Collins is a freak when it comes to Origin. Fermor has been a weapon recently, and Trent Loiero also a gun for the Storm. So, look, honestly, it's a good side. It's a relatively good side. It's just that the Dearden pick I wouldn't have done, I don't think.
I feel like I could take you to town right now on a couple of things you've said, but I'll wait, Trav.
Go for it, mate. Go for it. I'm ready.
Off you go, Trav. What do you got?
No, look, I think Dearden's a no-brainer. He's got that 14. That's a simple one. It's as simple as that. I see the points, though. I actually agree. I said last night that Kurt Mann should be in the team, and I made my sort of thoughts around who and what I would change. I wouldn't have picked Collins. I would have done a few swap arounds. But yeah, like I tend to agree with most of what you've said there, Jake. My thoughts are on form around Ponga I don't think it's actually Ponga's fault. I think it's just his coach and his team.
Agreed.
So I don't blame him as such. And, you put Ponga into that list. It's a different kettle of fish for him. And I've sort of had him as a smoky for most valuable player for the series. So yeah, but no, I definitely disagree with what you're saying on Dearden. As a no-brainer there, he's got to come in. Oh, he is in. Yeah. He's just got to stay there.
Is that the only one
that I disagree with you?
Yeah, just out of curiosity.
No, he would have changed his bench up. He would have had Collins out, Horsburgh in, and he would have had Liera out, Kurt Mann there. So
Kurt Mann in, yeah.
So see, I'm okay. I actually like those changes. Yeah, I actually like those changes. They're good changes. I'd be okay with that as well.
So originally, what I said on the pod was Mofo out to the bench, Horsburgh to the 8.
Starting,
yeah. I'd swap Cotter and Fermor. Sorry, I'd put Fermor in the 11 jersey. And then, I'd have Liero out, Mann on the bench.
Jeez.
Leon, Queensland have lost their toughness. Fancy being a state of origin player, having plastic surgery by getting hit with a ball. I think there was a bit happening there. Like that was gruesome.
I think it was more than that.
That happened to me. I'd be out for half a year. I wouldn't want to be seen. And there he is lining up, getting his photos and that. So he can do it. He was doing interviews yesterday as well. So no excuses. You could hardly understand what he was saying, but he was out there. So seriously, pull your heads in, Latrell and Spencer. We want to hear from you.
Are you guys in the camp of, let's say that no injuries happen and Dearden's there? Are you guys in the camp of playing him like a 13 style if they're on, like trying to get them on the attack? Is that how you would see him being played? Because if there's no other injuries, I don't see any other way that he gets put on the field.
I think he plays a bit of hooker. And I actually think he'd be very dangerous.
I think, I agree. So I think Dearden can go anywhere. I think you could still put him out on in a centers. You could put him on a wing if you had to. Like, obviously, don't want to, but you could if you want to. Do I think he's as good as Kurt Mann in terms of a full utility? No, but I think Dearden can run into the hooker spot. He can definitely play the 6 and 7. And yeah, like I just don't think it. I think it's a no-brainer. Dearden has to play, and he's got to be that 14. Simple as that.
Yep.
Look, I'm willing to agree to disagree on that one call, but that's okay.
Okay. Thanks, mate. Thanks for that input.
No, you're right. Yeah, I just thought I'd let you know.
Riveting statement, Jake. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, very, very important.
That kept the viewers. That's for sure. That one.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something that I don't want to talk about. So I'm going to throw to these two to discuss. Ezra Mann's return on the weekend obviously played. I'll throw to you two to continue because I'm so off him. Jake or Trav, who wants to take on this?
Well,
here, I'm going to give you some stats, right? So we all get it. We all understand. I really hate that I've got to talk that we've got to talk about this, but the story's there. He came out and he was unreal. Yeah, okay, the Broncos lost. So it wasn't because of him. The team sucks at the moment. He was enormous. He had 1 try, 3 try assists, 112 meters, 5 tackle busts, 2 line breaks, 2 line break assists, 2 offloads, 12 tackles, and had a solid kicking game with a couple of kicks that he did, but they were pretty good kicks. He was enormous. I think he came out and did a really good job. And he's going to have to. He really has to do this. He has to play like this week in, week out for people to lay off him a little bit.
Jake.
That's a big reason why I sort of thought it was an important thing to talk about, and that no one really has talked about how incredible he played, because I hate him. I hate him after what he did, and the fact that I also hate the system of like what happened and the reason why he got such a small sentence and everything that happened. I say sentence like he didn't just get fined $850, but the big sort of talking point was that he did smash it. And my kind of question to you guys, I suppose, is how long will it take before the Broncos faithful? Because, or would some of them have already forgiven him just off playing like that? Or, how long is it going to take before the general public, if he stays in this type of form, sort of forgives him? The NRL has never been good at handing down harsh sentences, but the public also don't really, how to put this, we sort of like to let people go after a while as well. So that's sort of that the way society is and our brains just move forward to new things. What happens here? Do we think that he just gets forgiven and forgotten?
Time will people will be like that. That's just what's going to happen, unfortunately, for all of us. And that's just where it's at.
How quick is it for Broncos fans if he keeps in the?
They've already done it. Did you hear what happened on the weekend? They didn't say a thing. They didn't boo him at all. They cheered him. So that they've already done it.
The away games will be where you'll understand what's happening. He will get every single boo in the loudest boos, the loudest receptions at away games with heavy boos, in my opinion. So, as
much as I hate what the Broncos have done, and Dave Johnson, has just come through and said something we've all repeated many times, and I've seen many comments in our poster that's been put up, Joel, that you've done about that exact same statement around what's happened with Tapau. I think the Broncos have made a really good decision here to the picking him and how they've picked it. Like, okay, it worked out all right with the Ben Hunt injury, but they picked him to play this weekend in round 11 in a game that is just before the bye at home. So I think it was a really nice feed into them. So kudos to them on that and what they've done with that. But the Broncos fans literally cheered him. It's done. They don't care anymore. I think what will happen is if he has a bad game, the Broncos fans will probably turn on him. But until that moment, I'm eager to see what happens. But yeah, if you want a good feed, go and look at a good LOA, a good read. Go and read the feed on the Tapau post, because there's it's an interesting one.
Oh, you made a lot harder than it needed to be. I love that.
And I'm the smart one, not you.
I reckon we'll put that to the voters. Let us know, who do you think's smarter, me or Trav? Because we know Jake's not in the conversation. So who do you think the brains are here?
He's a PE teacher.
He can't even spell.
Marks, mate. I'd get top
Hey,
marks. Let's do an IQ test.
It's not
A
hard.
live
It's not
IQ
hard.
test. Let's go.
It's not hard to get good marks as a PE teacher.
Yeah. Pass the footy real good.
We'll do something. It was mentioned. I know the old man did talk about it. This did happen post last week's live show. So just a quick comment on it. Obviously, it's not great, and there'll be things spun, and already has been. But Martin Tapau was sacked because of what happened. Liking that post by Elijah Taylor, his Footy Hacks page. He has come on for an interview with us in the past. I regularly talk to him. Actually, he's a fantastic bloke. Tagged us in a few of these posts lately as well. So that's what happened, and it just speaks volumes of where the Broncos are at as a club at the moment. They are an absolute basket case. Their culture and what they stand for as a club at the moment is so low. It's a shadow of what they were when they were a powerhouse, and they've really got to fix things. They've got to fix things from the back room all the way through, clean it out, because at the moment the Broncos clearly just is not working. But yeah, it just, how do you sack someone for liking something? And obviously we've all seen what happened with Ezra Mann. He was kept by the club. Selwyn Cobbo 12 or 18 months ago bagged the coach Kevin Walters on a podcast. Nothing happened there. So it's very funny how that all happens, because for mine, it just shows you just how bad and how quickly this club has fallen. And there's obviously a lot happening there at the moment. Players buying in, they're not, things like that. But it just shows, they're all over the shop. I hate it. Don't agree with it at all. But yeah.
But I also don't think they're not sacking him because he liked to post. They're sacking him because they probably wanted him gone, and they're using it as an excuse. Like, you're not gonna. Yeah, they wanted his money. Like, that's all it is. And they, there's all this talk about how that. And yeah, exactly right. And there's all this talk about how they need money to cash. Sorry, they need cash to be able to potentially re-sign Adam Reynolds for a year. I don't know if that's enough to cover it or not, or whatever. But I don't know. The way I see it is, he's like this post. If he was Ezra Mann, they'd go, they'd get up him for it, and then he'd stay, or they'd even do absolutely nothing about it. Like it's because they wanted that money, and they've gone, oh, you like this post, bye. Like that, they were trying to sack him anyway. They just needed a reason.
Well,
but that's the point, though, isn't it? Isn't it? That's the point. The point is that that's piss poor.
Yeah, it is. I'm not disagreeing. It's rubbish. Like, you like to post. Who cares? No, I'm fully on the side of it. It's just bull crap. It's just clear why they were doing it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Anyway,
that's it.
Let's move on. The Bears, the coach, their search for a coach is ramping up. BA basically seemed like he all but signed the contract to be there. And then we're seeing late Mal Meninga tossed his hat into the ring, being a huge momentum shift there. Big Sammy Burgess as well. Then Kevin Walters came in late, basically last weekend for Fox, admitted that he is very interested in the job as well. So basically, for mine, this needs to happen ASAP. They've got their CEO locked in now. It seems like they're getting a lot of that backroom stuff done and dusted, which they needed to do last week, to be honest with you. The coach needs to be locked in, I would say, this week, so they can start to plan very soon. Before they know it, they'll be starting to sign players for 2027, which is crazy. Who do we think's the front runner at the moment out of those four? So you got BA, Sammy Burgess, Mal Meninga, and Kevin Walters. I feel like they're the four that it's going to be out of one of those. Or would you structure it differently? Like, how would you guys go about it, Trav?
I don't know how I'd go about it, to be honest. Look, I think BA has the history and the resume to show that he can build up a club and support there. So I think he's got the track record on being able to do this. I wonder if they could. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think BA would do a good job over there. And sort that out to start off with, and the expectations wouldn't be very high. So he's just literally got to instill a bit of culture and get some players over, and I think they'd be fine. But I probably wouldn't go down that track myself, especially because they're in Perth, so they've really got to make a mark in what they do. And they have to fight against one of the biggest AFL clubs in the comp, which is West Coast. They're very highly supported. They're very well watched. And Freo over there are becoming bigger and bigger, and they've been in the comp for a long time. They've also got to try and stick in the pack with the Perth Wildcats in the NBL, which is the premier franchise in the NBL competition, which is the basketball. And so there's a lot of competing sports over there that they've got to try and fit in with. So to me, I actually think someone like Mal Meninga is probably their best choice, because it's literally perceived name recognition that I think is really important. They really need that marketing figure, and Mal Meninga is literally that person. Like, he's already got the media nous. He's got more connections literally to any of the marquee players that are out there. Plus, he is basically an NRL boy, isn't he? Like, he's one of those boys. So, like, I don't think it'll make too much difference if he's certainly no Wayne Bennett, and he hasn't got the track record of coaching anyone really or doing anything for 25 years other than coaching that international team, which, let's be fair, is pretty much coached itself. But I just think for that name recognition, who he'd be able to get across, the ties that he's got, I think he'd be a really good choice for them to start that build.
Yeah. Jake, who are your options?
I read a report today that Mal Meninga has his head in front just a little bit. I cannot remember the source. I can't. I wish I'd be able to tell you, but I can't. If I was doing it, if I was the one that was about to do it, like Trav said, I think that Brad has the kind of record of building up a team. And I understand he actually had a start already, but he'd actually be able to pick his own players, which I think he'd be able to do to try and suit his style kind of thing. So for mine, as much as I've given him crap at the Eels, I also recognize that he had us in the top 4 for a lot of the time, or top 8 for a lot of the time that he was our coach. And he started us off from when we were in a very poor spot. So to be honest, I'd be going with Brad Arthur. I actually like, a lot of the time, I like the style that he plays and things like that. But, I'd be going Brad there.
Do you think Brad has ties to decent players? Do you think there'd be players that would want to come across?
I don't think he does.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I don't really think he does.
All the players he has ties with are probably on the older side of things at the Eels and stuff like that. So, look, you might be able to get something out of them for a year or two, but I don't know if they're guys you'd really get a club to turn around in. I'm not a big fan of the BA signing at all, the more I think about it, because you've rightly said, Trav, they're going to be in a bit of a pickle there early on. They're going to have to be in a real battle to get their name out there, get their faces out there, appeal to the media, appeal to the general public. And Jake, you'll know this as well. That is probably BA's biggest downfall. He hates doing any of that. He is not a people person. He more so just wants to bunker down. He even encourages his players not to be those people as well, and just after a game and that goes straight back in the sheds, things like that. So that culture for mine just is not what the Bears will need to do to start that, and they need to be out there as much as possible. So that's why I like someone like Mal, figurehead of the game. Even I reckon people over there would know who Mal Meninga is. That's how big he is. So I know footy knowledge-wise, he might not be the best in terms of tactician, but then you make sure you get the right sort of assistants around him, the right head of football, things like that as well. I think they should go all out, and I'm actually being serious about this, and go to Gus and say, what will it take to get you over there to help us for 3 or 4 years? Because he's shown over the past, he's done such a good thing with grassroots at every club he's gone to, as well as building their first grade team up, where basically the Bears are there from scratch. So they'll need people there, some of these big guys there, to help him get these right bits in order. And Gus is the best at doing that. So I think personally, his job at the Bulldogs are almost getting to that stage where it was at with the Panthers, where he set everything up now. His job is done, and he'll continue to get credit for what he's done. Everyone can see that. I would be doing whatever it took as the Bears to get Gus over in some shape or form as the main sort of big dog, the head of football type thing there at the Bears. I'd probably get Sam Burgess in there as one of the assistants as well, because he has ties to the English Super League. And I think they're going to have to rely on a lot of those players early on to sign some talent. and he'll obviously know some of those and have some inside info and probably some relationships with some of those players over there. So I like having those sorts of guys there, especially early the first few years to really build that club up.
Yeah, 100%. I think if you've got to get your leadership in, you've got to get your coaches right. You've just got to be able to get that. Otherwise, your club's going to fail. That's why I think Mal Meninga's huge. I did read, and I'm pretty confident this is what I read. Actually, no, I did read this, that Sam Burgess doesn't want to be an assistant. If he's coming over, he's taken a coaching role. So I'm not sure he'd tie into that as an assistant coach. But there's plenty of good assistant coaches out there at the moment that would do a really good job. You're right, though. I never considered Gus as an option there because I don't reckon he leaves the Bulldogs, and I think he loves. Obviously, he's not going to leave New South Wales. So for him, he's got to. And that position, you can't have anyone doing it from a long distance. This is not a. This is not a video call position club that's going to be able to manage. You have to be there. You literally have to be living and breathing it all day, every day, hands on, like you said, Jake. So I didn't consider Gus for that role. They don't need mentors. They need people doing things. But that's if Gus can go and if he wants to go, I think that's a no-brainer. But I just didn't consider him. That's why I think Meninga's a really good choice. I think Sammy Burgess would be a really good choice too. But I just don't know if he's got the. This is different, right? This is not just going into a ready-made club and your coach has done a crap job in the past, so that's why there's a coaching position come up and there's already a list built. This is a list that's brand new, and I'm just not sure Sammy is the right person to do that. He's got limited coaching experience, and he's now over in the Super League. And we know that the Super League is hands down way different to what the NRL is. So it's going to be, that's a bit of a problem. Whilst I think actually, to be fair, I think Sam Burgess could walk into a Newcastle team and make a big difference, because that's a different situation. I don't know if he's the right person for a Perth brand new franchise. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no, perfect. All right, let's get to everyone's favorite everyone's favorite segment of the Tuesday Night Live show, and that is our LOI draft teams. So tonight we are picking our locks. I'm not going to go through the teams anymore because I do it with the post. You can see that before we go on air. There's too many people, so I'll be here for half the time just calling out everyone's team at the moment. What I will just say is how much salary we do have remaining. And I think we're starting this week. I think Trav was first last week. So does that mean it's Jake this week? Are you first, Jake? Yeah, sweet. So Jakey boy, the Condobolin Rams have 4.48 million remaining, which is the least amount out of all of us at the moment. So who is your lock forward, Jake?
Well, all right. So I found this. So I did some research at the end of last one because I wanted to, I know I didn't have too much money and I wanted to be prepared for this. Now, probably not going to get away with this, but according to Fox, this is what he's currently contracted at the moment. I don't know if he's had a contract upgrade. I haven't had to find one anywhere. Jermaine Hopgood is on 250K at the Eels, apparently. I would like Jermaine Hopgood for 250K. But he is. So I would like find it anywhere. Show me anywhere where you can find. When?
I think it was about 12 months ago, 18 months ago. He signed an extension, and he was literally a Queensland player last year.
This is why you've got to get on ChatGPT, Jake.
No, this one wasn't on ChatGPT. This was on, according to Fox, actually. I actually have the link. It was out in 2023, but that was him signing the extension from what I could see. So as far as I'm aware, he's still on it. No luck on that one?
I'm not giving you him for 250K. I'm sorry.
How much would you give it to him?
What about 350? Oh, mate, I'm going off Fox here. This is what he's worth according to Fox. There you go.
And you know what's funny thing?
400.
Me and Trav off air before you got on predicted you to pick Hopgood as well. This is hilarious.
Can I be honest? It wasn't my first choice. I actually have two other choices. I'm not going to tell you who they are just yet, in case I don't get him. He wasn't my first choice, but I've decided on him. I want to try for him.
Honestly, the cheapest I'd have him going for is 600K. I reckon he'd be on at the moment.
What do you reckon, Trav? You reckon 600K?
I've been looking at figures. Looking at what I think others are worth and then what I think he's worth. I think 6 is at the high end of where I think you'd be. I think you'd do a good deal if you got him for 600. I think it's a high end.
I'm not getting him for 600. I've got other options that I'd rather. So I'm not going to get him for 600 if that's. I'll. I wasn't gonna spend my money, but I think I will.
Money.
I'm gonna go Keon Kolomatangi for 650K.
When's he played lock? Oh, he did
Last year?
Yeah.
He did last year.
How much?
Keon Kolomatangi, 650K.
650. Yeah, so that's currently what he's valued at.
You guys, last week
you
guys have been copying people for what they're worth last week.
Yeah, I'm not
calling you out on it.
I'm not arguing. I'm just saying that's currently what he's valued at. I'm happy. Look, I have him down as 650 myself. He was up second on my list of what I wanted. So, you can have him for 650.
Yeah, I agree. I'd give him to you for 650K.
All right. Righto.
KK.
We'll make that happen then. I'll tell you after when you guys are done who my other option was going to be. If not,
so that puts you in the 3s now, Jake. You're quickly running out of money. How do you feel about that?
No, mate. I'm sorted. I've got my things. I've got my stuffs.
Jesse gets off on this segment, guys. I reckon he's actually devastated he's not part of it. He loves this. This is his shit.
It's the best. I love this segment. It's great.
I think is it me next?
Yeah.
I think. So the Jamboree Jelly Wrestlers, I've got 4.64 million left in the kitty. I'm going Isaiah Yo for 600K.
he's currently at 850, but he was my number one on my list, so you're getting 850. But yes, I knew where you were going, why you did that. But yeah,
I really, really want Isaiah Yo. There's a couple of ways I can
go on, mate. Go on, spend it.
You can have it for 850. I'm not going to let you go less than what he's currently assigned at.
I don't even reckon. I reckon he's worth 9. To be fair, I reckon he's a lock. If any team was going to sign him now,
you know what?
He'd be worth more than 850.
He generally
he's 9, 9K, 900K.
This has him all over. We'll have to include you next year, Jess. Because of some of the others, I'm actually going to start looking into my team and trying to work some things out. Because of some of the other players I have, I just don't think Yo would suit my team. So I'm not going to have him. I'm going to say Cam Murray would be a better selection, and I'm happy to get him for 600.
You're a dickhead.
You're off.
You are off your bloody head.
He's on a mill. He's
on a million. you know I've got this all written down already. There's only a couple.
He's got everyone. He's ready to go.
You know what? I'm happy. Mitch Barnett, 650.
Motherfucker. Ooh, sorry, I swore.
Yes, Nick, my name is the Jamboree Jelly Wrestlers. So get into it. My logo is even better.
Yes, I think he's just about the same as Kolomatangi. I'm happy for you to have him for 650. He's who I wanted. I had him down, but that's all right. I'm not going to bother going any higher.
You can always. You don't have to. You can always.
No, I don't want to.
You can go by 5K, mate. You can go by 5K if you want. You can really make him work for it.
No, I don't want 600. I don't want to pay more than 650.
Jesse's not in this segment. He's on the show. If you're asking for his Supercoach name, I think it's what is it? The fine? What's a fine? What's a fine's worth or something?
What's a fine worth? Yeah,
what's a fine worth? So that's his Supercoach team name, but he's not in there. He's very jealous. He's not part of this tonight. So, Barnett 650K, lock him in.
Yep, good get.
Thank you. Do your research better as well, boys. That's all I'll say. Anyway, Trav, you got a free go here. As long as the price is right, you've got it.
As long as the price is right, yeah. Patrick Carrigan for 600.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You're drunk. What's in that sippy cup of yours?
Oh, well, how much do you think he's worth?
Not 600,
Eight.
that's for sure.
8, 9.
No, he signed a contract for 800. I just wanted to know if you have done your research. I'm not. I don't
You didn't
want.
do your research on Barnett, but that's all right.
I'd love I'd love me some Patrick Carrigan, but not at 800k. I don't have any money left. So my real one that's left is I'd like Aaron Clark for 450.
Oh, I wanted him. I had that
Trav,
in my second.
Trav, we didn't do our research on
No,
Mitch
I know
Barnett.
how
He's
much
worth
is Mitch.
700. He's worth 700k.
Yeah, he's only 50k less. I don't mind.
Yeah, you can't sign people for less. What is this rubbish? We let him get away with it. We've absolutely let him get away with one there.
I'm not going to go any further with that. I don't mind. I had Barnett at 650 myself, but yes, I'm not going to go there. But yeah, Aaron Clark at 450.
Yeah, I'll give you that. That's a very good. That's a good one.
Yeah, he's in good form now, but he hasn't been before. So to be fair, I can live with that. He's in good form right now. I don't know if it'll last.
That's a good buy. I like that.
I was actually I'll tell you this now that we've finished the segment on this one. I was originally going to go with Lachlan Hubner and take a cheap. I was going to originally take a cheap option, and save a fair bit of money here, but I figured Lock's too important of a position nowadays to do that on, so I didn't do it.
Fair. Thanks for your insights, Jake. Thanks.
You're so welcome. You're actually so welcome.
All righty, let's get into our tips. As we're doing the tips, guys, if you have any questions for us, put them in the comments, please. We will get to them. Won't be on for much longer, and we will get off. So get any questions in. Doesn't have to be footy related. Can be anything really. So go ahead, get in there, and let us know what you want to know from us. First up, games: the Bulldogs versus the Dolphins. I'm going the Dolphins. The Dogs, sorry, at this stage. Trav?
Bulldogs.
Jake?
Yeah, I'll go Bulldogs as well. I think on this one.
And yeah, just a quick shout out to Jake, whose birthday was yesterday. So happy birthday to Jake, in case no one knew about that yet. So
in case you're new to the pod.
If you're new to the pod tonight, so well done. Eels against Manly. I've got Manly in this one. Trav?
Manly myself, yep.
I'm going Eels. I did it last week. It worked for me. I'm going again.
Keep going. Penrith against the Knights. In Bathurst, who knows? This could be dead set -5. Could be snowing, and this could be the conditions the Knights need to win. we don't know, but who have we got in this one? I've still got Penrith. I can't get away from it. Can't hit the Knights.
It's bloody hard to pick Penrith, because there's no Cleary, no To'o, no Yo, no Martin.
Yeah,
I don't want to tip that because I don't want to tip the Knights either. I just don't want to tip them.
I can get around the Knights at the start from a betting point of view.
They're missing Ponga too.
That's what I mean. That's it, main player.
Only missing Ponga.
Oh, yeah, only. He's their whole team. Steak was good, Dad. Cheers.
Sharp, but Fletcher Sharp gets to go back to the one. Look, I can't go off Penrith. I don't want to tip the Knights, but geez, it's a hard one.
Did you just say you went the Knights? Or you didn't?
No, Penrith.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm going Penrith as well. I just thought I misheard you, but yeah, I must have misheard you. Penrith, it's impossible to go to the Newcastle normally, and without Ponga, it's doubly impossible.
Roosters against the Sharkies. I will go the Sharkies in this one, Trav.
Agreed.
Easy. And it's in Gosford too.
Last one. Pretty good game, this one. Looking forward to watching this one. I wish it was the Raiders. Actually, they're pretty, apart from Hudson Young, they're pretty looking pretty good. So Warriors against the Raiders at Go Media Stadium, Sunday, 4:00 game. Goodness me, this gets me aroused, this one. I've got the Warriors at the moment. Trav?
Yeah, I'm on the Warriors myself as well. They're missing Fisher Harris, suspended. They've been winning without him. And Barnett, I think they have been able to replace Barnett quite easily. And they've got Leatua coming back. I've got the Warriors, although, the Raiders are going over there with basically their full strength team other than Young. So it's going to be a ripper of a game. I can't wait to that one. And I love that it's Sunday afternoon because I think some of the other games this weekend are going to be shockers. And I hope we end with a good one.
What?
Jake?
I'm going to differentiate myself. I'm going to zig when other people zag, and I'm going to go Raiders. I'm just going to have faith in them to get over I think Corey Horsburgh's going to go huge, pissed off that he didn't get into the squad. So I'm going to go Canberra Raiders.
Zig when everyone zags. Put that as the note for the post for the podcast.
Zig
when everyone zags.
That's a saying the super coach, I don't remember his actual name, Tim something from like 2 years ago. He won it. That's what he said was like his thing. So if to try and like when there was this one big decision where everyone was going to go one way, he had to like try and do something to go the other way if it was not going to come off. But if you stuff it up, you cooked. So I'm already coming like last in my tipping comp. Who cares? Just try and zig what others say.
You're a bit of an embarrassment when it comes to tipping comp at the moment. I didn't want to bring it up, but I'm glad you have. Question time. I don't believe we had anything come in actually at the moment. We tackled the ref one, which did come in, which I was very happy to do. Very disappointing the boys not getting behind us a little bit more, but that's okay. Sorry, we have a question in the comments, and then any other comments that come in, please put them in now. Shannon, with all the travel and isolation that comes with being based in Perth, do you reckon the new club will genuinely be able to attract top-tier talent, or will they be stuck overpaying to get players across? I'm genuinely concerned about what they can actually get, to be honest with you. And a big part of this, and not many has actually spoken about it at the moment, is the PNG team being in the year after as well, and they've got the tax-free dollars to incentivize players to do so, where in Perth, you're moving across the country. What's the flight? Is it 4 hours, 5 hours or something to go Sydney to
4 hours from it's 4 and a bit, isn't it, to get from Sydney to Perth now?
So it's a decent trek. There's a bit in it as well in terms of maybe fatigue, things like that, a bit in the legs, but moving away from family, all that sort of jazz, you're still going to get all the tax and all that sort of stuff, where if you wait a year and if you do want to go and be part of something new, you can do it with a tax-free dollar. I know it's probably not ideal living condition-wise, but you'll do it for a couple of years, get your money, see you later. Where Perth, there's not much to incentivize, I feel like, at the players at the moment, which I think will be a huge downfall for them trying to get players like Jerome Hughes and maybe your Pappies and that sort of thing. I feel like they'll get some of those younger players. I think they'll be quite a young team. They'll be probably fresh and wanting to just get that NRL jersey and get that chance. I just can't see them getting much when it comes to that main guy, especially when the Dolphins. We've seen the Dolphins struggle so much with it, where if anyone was going to sign a key player, a marquee player, they should have been able to get one for sure, and they still probably haven't. So, yeah. Trav?
I agree. I think Perth are going to struggle in terms of what they get. They're going to have to pay for people and get those marquee guys, which is why I think it's really important that they get the right coach, because that's going to make the difference. And I think that's why that Mal Meninga is going to be Mal Meninga is so important. It's a 3-hour time difference and a 4-hour time difference come daylight savings. And it's a long flight. The flight to New Zealand will be worse than the one to PNG, I think, but because that's another 4 hours on top of that. So that'll be an interesting one. But I think it is going to be a struggle. But in saying that, there's a big difference between Perth and Papua New Guinea. Huge difference. And, Perth is a beautiful, beautiful city. And if you just want to go over there, like, this is an opportunity to literally go and hide, right? You're going to go over there. No one's going to know you for a long time. Media's not going to get around you much.
Off you go, Ezra. Piss off.
You're going to have a really good time, well-being side and that over there, to be able to just go about your business and do your business and you're done. So, like, I think there'll be players that'll be able to that'll go, and that will entice, or that will be enticing to want to go to.
Yeah. Before you go, Dave, or the old man, I should say, you're the one that did share tonight's episode, so you win that 5 bonus entries into that Broncos v Titans tickets. So well done to you. Good entry there. I said if there was only one person, they won it. So well done. Jake, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think it's going to be very similar to the Dolphins, although they do have a sort of better area for attracting players. I think it's going to be similar. You're going to have players who are just sort of aging out a little bit, but are still able to get a few good years in that they're going to try and target. But I think while they get to start completely fresh, the strategy I would kind of go with is I'd be trying to sign like 2 or 3 like real big names, like you've got James Tedesco who's getting to like 32 off contract in 2026. He might be like a target for if you want to still get someone who's still getting age out soon, but you want to chuck a massive deal at him last attempt. Like he's one of your biggest names in the game. You're going to sign some other people that go, I want to be able to play with James Tedesco, that type of thing. So they might want to try and look at those types of targets. But other than that, I think if they're trying to go off those younger players or whatever, they're going to struggle because a lot of those players definitely will still have those career options around the areas without the travel times.
Yep, that's it, guys. That's all we've got time for. We did say we wanted to make a conscious effort of being a bit more on time moving forward. So we know these have dragged out a bit. They've gotten quite long in the tooth. So we will try and keep this down to that hour sort of mark. Teddy DeBears would be sick. Yeah. Thank you, Brent. Thanks for jumping on, brother. But yeah, we've got Supercoach tomorrow night. Jesse's back. He's down in the dumps, guys. I'll just give you a pre-warning. Could be a tough episode with myself and Trav trying to deal with him for an hour and 10 minutes or so, whatever it's going to be. But yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, all that jazz once again. But we will see you around for tomorrow night's Supercoach episode. Good night.